Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Harakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that have taught us this truth and they continue to. And shalom to our brothers doing this mighty and powerful works in hopes of salvation. Now, Elon Musk just did the Roman salute. And this just reconfirmed that this is Rome 2.0. The only difference is this is a technology advanced modern Rome. All right. And him doing that salute. And he's not the first that have done that salute, which is a Roman salute. Even Hitler used that same salute. And it originates from the Roman Empire. All right. Now, a lot of people are tripping out about it.
The so-called Roman salute is performed by stretching forward the right hand, with palm down and fingers touching. Despite how often it is portrayed in modern historical media, this exact gesture is not featured in any of the ancient Roman sources or iconography. It owes.
So yeah.
The so-called Roman salute is performed by stretching forward the right hand.
Stretching forward the right hand.
With palm down.
Palm down and fingers touching.
Despite how often it is portrayed.
And then raising your hand out like you're waving. If you've seen that movie, Gladiator 2, you'll see it. So Revelations chapter 13 and 1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea. So he actually seen a beast coming out of the actual sea. And the beast represents a power structure. All right. Which today is NATO, EU, and America. All right. Rising up out of the sea, out of the nation, tongue, the people. Having 7 heads and 10 horns. So that 7 head represents Esau's major empires. And 10 horns represents the EU nations. Which originally they started out as 10, even though they say 6. It's 10 in total, and now they have expanded. And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Now, even NATO, they know that this is that they're exercising the power of the Roman Empire. All right. It says Exercise Dragon is a NATO military exercise that tests the operability of NATO countries. What does Exercise Dragon do? Tests NATO's ability. So this is a military exercise, and they call it Dragon. Now, if you keep reading in the scripture, you know when it mentions dragon, that's dealing with the Roman Empire. So they know that their power structure is is Roman revived power structure. All right. It says, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast, NATO, EU, and America, the so-called white man's power structure, which I saw was like unto a leopard. And the leopard represents Alexander in the Greek Empire. All right, which is the beginning of the so-called white man's reign upon the earth, dominion upon the earth. All right. Now, Alexander the Great was depicted wearing a leopard skin helmet. It says on a coin from around 301 BC. So he actually wore a leopard's helmet. All right. Now, over there in Europe, they have a place called Alexander Mosaic, where you see in the picture Alexander wearing a leopard upon his horse. All right. It says Alexander the Great was often depicted wearing a lion skin helmet. And that's how you know he's an Edomite, because the Roman Empire, the generals and the captains wear animal helmets, like this. All right. He knew he was that leopard. There it is. An actual leopard skin on his horse. All right. Yeah, man. And when Esau got empowered, that was the beginning of wickedness. It tells you that in First Maccabees. All right. And then after Alexander died, his generals fought over Alexander's fought for power and fought to spread the influence of Hellenization. All right. So it says First Maccabees 1:1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, which was an Edomite, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, which in Daniel it tells you that's the second empire. All right, of silver, which was the Medo-Persian Empire. All right, hold on. Yes, it says Kingdom of Medo-Persia, King Cyrus, chest and arm made of silver. So when he smitten Darius, he took power. All right, that's the beginning of the Greek Empire. Now let's go back. All right. Had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. All right. And I want to get to the point. It says, and he went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. Yeah, he thought he was a god. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, his generals, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. And out of those generals, the ones that had the most power and influence was Lysimachus, Ptolemy, Cassander, and Lysimachus. All right. 4 generals. And they went to war against each other. And they were trying to do what Alexander set out to do, which was influence. So Alexander reigned 12 years and he died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And it says, after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So when this guy came into power, that's when wickedness grew into the earth. All right. And his generals were responsible for spreading Hellenization. All right, the philosophy of Esau, pretty much a way of living. So John the Revelator, he saw the beginning of Esau, and he saw the end of Esau. All right. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. And that feet of a bear is Russia. And Russia is going to be the nation to destroy America and go against NATO. All right. Now, to prove that Russia is the bear, it says the Eurasian brown bear is the national animal of Russia. And the USSR soldiers used to wear a bear patch. All right. And the feet is the end of a thing. So Russia is going to be the country to destroy America. All right, the bear is a symbol of strength, power, resilience, and can also represent ferocity. So the Russian animal that represents them is the bear. And it says right here, Revelations 13:2, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. And to show you that the Most High set up Russia to destroy America, Jeremiah 50:20. No, not Jeremiah 50:23. Jeremiah 51. It says, Jeremiah 51:11, make bright the arrows. That's why the missiles are so advanced, because the Most High is making them perfect. Gather the shields the Lord had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, Putin, and his generals, for his device against Babylon, to destroy it. That feat, all right? Because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. So the Most High had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, Russia, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it. So we're going to go back to Revelations 13, right? And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and that's England. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and his great authority. So this is the embodiment of exercising the power of the Roman Empire. All right, because the dragon is the ancient Roman Empire, which goes back 2,000 years ago. And Esau is exercising the power of the Roman Empire. He has went around the world, conquered all these nations, and set them into tribute, made them tributary unto America. All right, just like the Roman Empire went around conquering and set up garrisons everywhere and made everyone tributary. All right. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. So one of the heads were wounded to death is when Jakes, the so-called black man, the Israelite man, got into rulership. And that really started. Now, I know bros say Septimian Severus, but there was a Jake that was before Septimian Severus, and it's Pertinax. All right. Now, I found out a long time ago that this guy was born to the son of a freed slave. So this dude was an Israelite. All right, but he only ruled for a few months, and he was he succeeded Communists to become the first emperor during the tumultuous year of the 5 emperors. So that's when everyone was fighting for power to be the emperor. And that's when Jake got in the door, man, starting with this guy. All right? And then after him, who succeeded him? It says predecessor, communist, successor, Didius Julianus. And yeah, man, it's Jake, man. Jake got up in there. Just like today, black men in government. Let's see. yeah, you got Jake that are influential senators. What's the dude? The military guy? Let's see what it says. This guy. No, is it that guy? Yes, this guy. I believe it's this guy. I don't know his name. But Jake, even in today's time, are in high position in Esau's government. All right, and back then, Jake wounded Esau. All right, because Jake got up into power. All right, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. So wounded to death is the fall of the Roman Empire. And Jake, the Israelites started ruling the earth. All right, and like the apostles have said, it started with Constantine. That's why they call it the Dark Ages. Because our people were ruling. All right, and that's when the Roman Empire fell. And his deadly wound was healed. And his deadly wound was healed the Renaissance. All right, now let's look up what the another word for the Renaissance. So the late 1400, 1500, the so-called white man got into high position of influence, and they got into seat of power and started their deception. All right, it's Renaissance is rebirth. It says synonyms: revival. Like it says, deadly wound was healed. He got into position of power and he started his revival. Re meaning again. Vival, I think it means life. Resurgence, renewal, reawakening. And that's when he started painting himself as the Most High, as the prophets, as the judges. All right? The scripture says he was loose for a season. He started deceiving the whole earth. All right, so, and his deadly wound was healed. the Renaissance. Now, let's get that scripture. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So right now, the entire planet has been given to the most evil, sinister person that could possibly exist, the so-called white man. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Like, who else could it be? The person that paints himself as the Most High, as God. All right. Now, if you go into the word cover it, it says to cover over, spread over. There was a word I was looking for. It says smear. Man, I saw it earlier. It says to spread over. And what did he spread over? Paint. All right. The scripture says he opened the book of the law. 1 Maccabees 3. And I believe 48. First Maccabees chapter 3 and 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen, Esau, the so-called white man, has sought to paint the likeness of their images. And that's what we called iconoclasm. It says the deliberate destruction of religious images, monuments, and other symbols. It says the Greek word iconoclastes, which means breaker of icons. So this is exactly what he did. The paintings that Jake have of the Messiah, Mary, and the prophets, which are the judges, and the angels, he literally spread over paint. All right? And now look at the difference. They look like they went from dark people to so-called white people. So that's the start of him healing himself. And it says, his deadly wound was healed in all the world, showing you that the Roman Empire has revived. And all the world wandered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon. The dragon represents the Roman Empire 2,000 years ago. All right, which gave power unto the beast. The beast is what? NATO, EU, and America. All right, the power structure of the so-called white man, with America in control of NATO and EU. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And who's able to challenge America for all these years? No one. All right, the scriptures talk about the hammer of the earth. What does a hammer do? It pounds shit. It smashes things. All right, and that's what Esau's military has done. Just like the Roman Empire. All right, he's exercising the power of the Roman Empire. Jeremiah 50:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So it's going to take the Most High to break the so-called white man's power structures, military. All right. Hammer says for an unused root, meaning to pound. Now let's jump down to 11. Revelations. Let's actually get this scripture right here. Revelations 17 all the way down. Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns, European nations, which thou sawest upon the beast, NATO, these shall hate the whore, America. All right, represents that whore sitting upon the beast. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So at the end of the day, the Lord is going to turn America's allies against it. All right. And why is America considered a whore? Because she's been in bed with all these nations. This is the point. For the Most High had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the women which thou sawest is the great city, America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So the Most High gave America that power seat on top of this power structure of NATO, controlling NATO and the EU nations. And that's why Yahweh Shai got to destroy Babylon, a.k.a. America, the modern day Rome, to take Esau out of power. All right? So let's go back here to 11. Revelations 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. America is that beast. And he had 2 horns like a lamb. And them 2 horns represents the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, both on the same head. All right? And he spake as a dragon. And that word dragon goes back to Draco, which is a a man that was a lawmaker in Athens, a Greek legislator that created laws that were super harsh. Now, Rome was known for its harsh laws. All right. It says, Athenian lawgiver Draco. Right, says, his laws were so severe that even for the smallest things, you could get put to death. It says, for very serious crimes, you could be killed by crucifixions, thrown from a cliff into a river, even buried alive. It says, over time, Roman punishments became more and more violent. Now, I found information where it says that if you owe debt, like too much debt, you will be taken into slavery. All right? It says, in ancient Rome, debt was a serious issue that could lead to death or enslavement. The law was harsh on debtors, and consequences for not paying a debt could be severe. Yeah, it says citizens but permanently lost their freedom. So they were very harsh on debts. Draconian measures. And now America is coming with their draconian measures, harsh laws. All right? That's Esau exercising the power of the Roman Empire. All right? And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused it the earth and them that dwell in therein to worship the first beast, the Roman Empire, whose deadly wound was healed. So this is Rome 2.0. I think we're mad. So when you see that dude, Elon Musk doing that That's salute. It reconfirms that we're in Rome. Now, there's a thing called Romanesque revival architecture, and Esau in the 1800s and the mid 19th century was building Roman style buildings. All right, some of them he tried to hide the history. All right, the late 1700s, he will build a lot of buildings. This is an actual style, Romanesque revival architecture. And a lot of them will be built like the Greek and Roman style. See, it says the Romanesque revival style was introduced in the United States in the 19th century as architectural ideas from Europe based on the building of ancient Rome were imported here. And they try to hide it from the masses. But you still got a lot of Capitol buildings, state buildings that look like a reminiscence of Rome. All right. And to show you that his deadly wound was healed, over there in Russia, they still have the original paintings of black angels, black prophets, so-called black men with the Bible. Yahweh Shai, who the world would ignorantly call Jesus. This is information that's spreading. And it didn't touch Russia because Russia had Jakes up in there. He had Edomites and Moab. I confirmed this with brother. And because they were Orthodox in Christianity, But the Western Europe, Esau painted over all the images. That's what the Renaissance was about. That's him rebirthing himself. That's him coming into power. Yeah, so Elon Musk doing that inspired this lesson. Look at this guy. Can't tell me this ain't Jake. Look at the nose. Esau got a straight nose. All right, now let's get the scripture right here and just end it. $17, I believe. Yeah, this one. It says Revelation 17 and 11. So John, he marveled at, then it was explained unto him what he was seeing. He saw a dragon, a beast, a woman sitting upon her. And then he saw the the downfall of the so-called white man's power. Revelation 17 and 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. So that's the end of this kingdom. Esau, the so-called white man's power, rulership, the destruction of Babylon, aka America. But Lord willing, this was edifying. And yeah, man, there's so much more information. It's just what the Lord gave me, I was able to use. Hey, giving all praise to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.